A splendid Wednesday afternoon to all. I am William Theo here, and this is PTV News Now. Tops on our afternoon stories right now. The Department of Health, or DOH, in Region 5 has extended over 6.5 million pesos in medical aid to LGUs in Camarines Sur and Albay provinces hit hard by Tropical Storm Christine. Over 5,200 medical personnel have been deployed to provide medical services and care to the towns most affected by Christine in the two provinces. The Region 5 DOH has continued to provide free medicine, disaster relief tents, hygiene and water test kits, PPEs, body bags, collapsible water containers to the evacuees and marginalized. Naga City was the first province hit hard by Christine. The president visited nearly 2 weeks ago to inspect storm damage and evacuation efforts and to provide relief and financial assistance plus cheer and hope to the Bicolanos. Just once, rock with you, don't stop till you get enough, beat it, Billie Jean, timeless hits, baby boomers and Gen Z music fans know by heart, and just the tip of the iceberg of the 2,900 jazz, pop, soul, R&B tunes he produced, wrote, arranged, film scored, orchestrated, and played on. His music and entertainment career spanned 7 decades, from working as a trumpet player for jazz band leader Lionel Hampton to composing and arranging for Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, among others. Most of all, he produced the back-to-back monster album hits of the King of Pop, Off the Wall and Thriller, the best-selling album of all time, and We Are the World in 1985, the best-selling single of all time, truly a hitmaker. Q, as Frank Sinatra tagged him, also dabbled in film, co-producing the critically acclaimed Color Purple, which made a star of Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg. He also tried his hand in television by producing the tremendously popular Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which launched Will Smith's film career. Legendary music producer and entertainment icon Quincy Jones passed away yesterday in his Bel-Air home in the Los Angeles suburbs at the age of 91 of what is believed to be of natural causes. President Joe Biden sent his message of sympathy and praise, as well as Barack and Michelle Obama, and Vice President and Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris, among others. In our neck of the woods, national elections are held on the second Monday of May as enshrined in the 1987 Charter. In America, Congress passed a law in 1845 codifying federal elections to be held on the second Tuesday of November. This VOA report.
In the late 1700s and early 1800s, U.S. states could hold presidential votes during a 34-day period, which turned out to be quite problematic. Policymakers soon realized that states that held voting early in the 34-day period could sway public opinion and influence the outcome of the vote in the states that held their federal elections later. Their solution was to unify the nation's election process by selecting a specific day when everybody votes. In 1845, Congress passed a law designating the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November as Election Day, a date that remains in place today. But what brought Congress to this conclusion? Much of America was farmland in the 19th century, and life revolved around strict routines of planting, harvesting, and selling crops. Wednesdays, commonly seen as market days for farmers, were quickly ruled out. Sundays were reserved for going to church, so that wasn't a good option either. Because many people lived far away from polling stations, Congress also wanted to give voters time to travel to voting booths. Tuesday became the obvious contender, allowing enough time to travel after church without affecting the main business day. Farmers also influenced the choice of election month, as spring and summer traditionally mark planting season, while late summer and early fall were filled with harvests. So, it made sense to hold elections in November, when harvests were usually finished, but the coldest weather had yet to arrive. Nowadays, most countries around the world hold elections on Sundays, but America remains committed to its election day tradition. Some have called for making it easier for the modern-day American workforce, which typically works Monday through Friday, to vote, including making Election Day a federal holiday. Even though farming and ranch families now make up only 2% of the American population, The tradition of holding U.S. elections on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November has stood the test of time.
And that's a wrap for our news stories for this afternoon. Join us later anew for more breaking stories in our evening offering. And always stay connected by catching the news right here. I am William Theo. Thank you for watching PTV News Now.